Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss chapter 8, Light, Sound and Force. And in this chapter, we are going to learn about what is light, sound and force, the properties of light, sound and force, luminous and non-luminous objects, noise, and air and water resistance. So here is a little warm-up for you. It is a very windy day and Jay with his friends is cycling in the park. They cycle every day. But today, as it is very windy, they are not able to cycle fast. Do you know why they are not able to cycle fast on a windy day? Light, sound and force are different forms of energy. Light is a form of energy that makes everything visible. When our surroundings are visible, we can see and transfer the information about our surroundings to our brain through our eyes. We have already learned what is light and how shadows are formed. There are two types of objects on Earth, luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects are objects that give out light. For example, the sun, fireflies, light bulb and a candle. Non-luminous objects are objects that do not give out light. For example, a table, a boy and a tree. Here are some properties of light. Light travels in a straight line. Shadows are formed when there is any object in the path of light. A shadow is always formed on the opposite side of the light source. Now here is a science topic for you. Do you know light is made up of tiny packets called photons? These photons contain lots of energy. The intensity of light depends upon the amount of energy a photon contains. So here is an activity for you. Let's refresh what we have already learned. What is a natural source of light? Name some artificial sources of light. And when is the shadow formed? Sound. We hear sounds all around us. When we talk, we make sounds. Birds, animals and machines also make sounds. Sound is a form of energy that is made by the vibration of particles. When an object vibrates, it moves the air particles around it. When these air particles move, they bump into other particles and make them move. This movement of particles is called sound waves. These waves or movements continue till the particles run out of energy. Sometimes the waves are fast and sometimes slow. This brings changes in the sound produced. Here are some properties of sound. Sound travels in waves and bends around objects. Sound needs matter to travel. There needs to be matter or particles that vibrate for sound to move. The matter that transports sound is called a medium. The faster the vibrations, the louder the sound is. We can make sound by tapping our feet, clapping our hands, shouting, etc. Some sounds are pleasant and soft to hear. Some sounds are loud and harsh to our ears. Unpleasant and loud sounds are very irritating. These sounds are called noises. Volume is the measure of the loudness of a sound. Sounds as loud as 85 decibels can ruin your ears if you listen to them for a long time. So do not listen to loud music or have your earphones turned up too loud. So here is something for you to explore. Pull a rubber band over an empty cup. Pull the band. It makes sound. The sound lasts as long as the band vibrates. Now try this with different sizes of cups and bands. Is there any difference in the sound? Here is a tidbit for you. The loudest natural sound on Earth is caused by an erupting volcano. Force. The push and pull on any object is called force. A force can make an object move faster, slow down, remain in place, or even change shape. Push. The pushing force is a force by which we make an object move away from us. Examples are a boy pushing a cart, a boy pushing the door. Pull. The pulling force is a force by which we move objects closer to us. For example, a boy pulling a cart, a boy pulling the door. We cannot see force, but we can see and feel the effects of force. Here are some properties of force. Force can make an object move faster or slow down. When we pedal faster, our cycle moves fast. When we apply brakes, it stops. Force can make an object change direction. When we hit a tennis ball coming towards us, we change its direction by sending it back. Force can change the shape of an object. While kneading dough or crumpling paper, we're changing the shape of the object. Friction is a force that keeps an object in its place or slows down a moving object. When two objects touch each other or move against each other, it causes friction. Friction works against motion and acts in the opposite direction. The rougher the surface, the more is the friction. It is easier to slide on a wet surface than a dry one. If the soles of a shoe are worn out or smooth, we may slip because the friction between the soles of a shoe and the ground decreases. The same is with the tire of a car and the grip of a cricket bat. When we are cycling or running, we can feel the air moving against us. This force of air is called air resistance. Water moves against any object that tries to move it. This force that moves against ships, swimmers, etc. is called water resistance. Now, did you know solid bodies, when rubbed against each other, have more friction between them than liquid bodies? Gravity. Have you heard the saying, everything that goes up must come down? You can understand this saying if you look around. If you jump up, you come down. Fruits, leaves, flowers all fall to the ground. Why? This happens because of gravity. Gravity is the force of the earth that pulls objects down towards it. So let's think. The earth exerts some force on us. It is called gravity. Look at the game tug of war. When two teams use equal amount of force in pulling the rope, no one moves. This is because the force exerted by both the teams is equal and cancels each other out. If one team uses more force, they may pull the other team towards them. A similar thing happens with us as well. When we are still and in one place, the force of our body and the force of the earth cancel each other out. As we move, we use more force by using energy. As of now, we are using more force as we move. Running requires more force than walking. So here are some word meanings for you from the lesson. Luminous, an object that provides light. Vibrate, when an object moves continuously and rapidly side to side. So here is a mind map of the lesson for you. There are three forms of energy: light, sound, and force. There are two types of objects: non-luminous and luminous. There are two types of sounds: pleasant and not loud, and noise sounds that are loud and irritating. There are four types of force: the push force, the pull force, friction, and gravity.